Oh, I know. I'm late. Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can see from the title, it is that time in the month again. So in today's video, we will be taking a look at my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of May. Now I know I'm a couple of days late in bringing this video out, but you didn't really miss too much. There's a couple of decent releases that we may have missed out on, but when I say that this is going to be a really good month, trust me, there are some absolutely fire releases coming out. Now I don't want to make this intro any longer than it needs to be. Just want to welcome back all of my returning subscribers, and if you're new around here and you haven't done so already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Now if you do want to reach out to me outside of YouTube, you can find me most active on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. And now we've got all of that out of the way, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and dive straight into this video. So before we dive into the video itself, I want to give a massive shout out to our sponsor Shoestack. Now Shoestack are actually great friends of the channel and have actually sponsored quite a few different previous videos as well. Now Shoestack, you will be able to see, have actually completely done my display behind me, and again they have actually come through with a brand new product that's only just recently launched onto their website, and it is the very handy shoe bag. Now if you are planning on going on a holiday or a vacation, depending on where you're from, or even if you're just looking to take an extra pair with you maybe to the office or wherever you're going, then this is absolutely an essential item, I would definitely say. I've been looking for a shoe bag for a little bit of time now, and this is definitely, you know, kind of filled that void for me. And since I'm planning on going on holiday with the kids, this is definitely going to come in handy. There are plenty of easy to fill compartments, so we have compartments on either side of the bag. We do also have a zip compartment at the back as well, and it can also actually be put on top of a suitcase as well. So if you want to just pop this on top of a suitcase, very easy and lightweight and could just be used as a carry-on. You can also fit up to, I believe, a UK 13 on the inside. And if you do want to take along some additional wipes to make sure your shoes are clean whilst you're away, you do also have a little handy pocket in here where you maybe could put your charger, your wipes, or whatever you want to put in there. There's just storage on storage on storage. And it's not like a hefty bag, one of those, you know, I've seen quite a few different shoe bags you can take, and they're like duffel bags, and honestly, who's got time for that? It's a very nice, handy, easy to use option. So if you do want to check out the shoe bag or the shoe wipes or the shoe crates or any of the other products they have available on the website, I will make sure to leave a link in my description box below along with my discount code of ACS10. So if you do want to order any products for yourself, use that code, save yourself a cheeky 10% off at discount. And again, I just want to say a huge thank you to Shoestack for sponsoring the channel. Definitely is very much appreciated. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive straight into the video. So just diving straight into this one, the very first release that we are taking a look at is the Nike Dunk Low in the Racer Blue colourway, set to be releasing on the 5th of May for a retail price of £90. This shoe for me looks very clean, very nice colourway overall. I'm not big, you know, in terms of like dunks, whether it be SBs or just regular dunks, but this was definitely a colourway that caught my eye straight off the bat. You know, we are coming up to spring and summer, even though the British weather doesn't look like it right now, but honestly, we're going to be getting some nice weather hopefully in the summer, so having a clean, versatile shoe like this in the collection is an absolute necessity. When it comes to a colour block shoe like this, the really nice blue, the white, it's just a no-brainer, and especially at the retail price point of £90, you honestly can't go wrong. I would say that the quality is probably not going to be outstanding. We're pretty much all used to dunks now in terms of the fact that they are nice colorways, but quite often pretty shoddy craftsmanship, pretty cruddy materials used. But if you're just looking for that everyday beater shoe for the summertime, this is definitely one that I would highly suggest you look into. In my opinion, this shoe is definitely going to sell out. So moving on swiftly to the next one upon our list, this time we do actually have a collaboration between ALD and New Balance for the 650R, releasing in 4 different colorways. Now these 4 colorways do include the red, navy, grey and green, all of which are releasing on the same date, which is the 5th of May for a retail price of £140. The only place I've actually seen releasing these as of right now is actually on the New Balance website, and New Balance's drops are an absolute pain in the ass. Every single time I've tried to get any shoe on there, whether it's remotely hyped or incredibly hyped, the queue system just completely, immediately, I just can't be arsed with it. I honestly cannot be bothered waiting in that queue system like it's the 1990s again. And I just pass, it is what it is. So for me, unless this shoe actually releases as like a wider release in terms of raffles, this is a shoe I'm happy to pass on, just because I can't be bothered trying to get a shoe, knowing I'm just not going to have any chance. I mean, it does come to ALD collabs. They do generally knock it out the park 9 times out of 10. I can't really think offhand of any bad ALD collaborations, so With that, we're probably going to get a really nice shoe at a relatively affordable price point. And if you like the 650 style, maybe over the 550 style, then absolutely definitely do your best to go for these. If there are any raffles that get posted, whether it be on Foot Patrol, Size, End, or wherever else, I always try and post it in my community tab as well. Now, the shoe itself is going to sell out. It is an ALD collab. It is a New Balance, and they are, massively hyped right now. So if you are looking to pick these up, do everything you possibly can do, because once again, this is a shoe that I can definitely see selling out. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, and the next shoe that we are taking a look at is actually one that's coming straight out the vault. Next up, we do have the Kobe Adidas Crazy 97 EQT, set to finally be re-releasing on the 6th of May for a retail price of £150. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Kobe sneaker historian or anything like that, so I don't know everything there is to know about this shoe, but what I can tell you is that the Laker colorway was actually worn by Kobe Bryant during the dunk contest in 1997. That's what I read on the Soul Retriever, so if it's wrong, blame them, not me. But this is definitely a shoe that piqued my interest. Of course, unfortunately, Kobe Bryant is no longer with us and he has tragically passed away. And with that, people are wanting to remember him in their own individual way by, collecting his jerseys, his sneakers, and any other memorabilia that is associated to the Kobe name. So I do expect that a lot of avid collectors are going to want to grab these because of the fact that, this is a shoe that the legend himself wore. But the actual colorway of the shoe itself is just straight fire to me. You honestly can't go wrong when it actually does come to the Lakers colors. And there are definitely aspects of this shoe that I find really interesting just off the pictures. And I would love to know a lot more about this particular shoe. There's been no real information about the stock numbers or anything like that. But recently we have seen that, through Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa, it looks like the agreement with Nike, and they'll start to distribute more Kobe releases through Nike as well. I'm not sure what the situation is with Adidas, but it is a really interesting time if you are a Kobe fan, and it is great to see that we are going to be getting more Kobe releases. But unfortunately, I do expect that this is going to sell out. I think the resellers are going to be after it. So please do everything you possibly can do to get it if you want it, because this shoe is definitely going to sell out. So just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, and the next one that we are taking a look at is the Nike SB Dunk Low Bart Simpson. I know that's not its official name, but that's the name that we're going with. And this shoe is scheduled to be releasing on the 7th of May for a retail price of £90. Now, this shoe is already available up on the Sneakers app, so do make sure to click that notify me button whenever you're on the Sneakers app to kind of register your interest early that this is a shoe that you will be going for. I've heard that the more times you interact with the app, the more likely it is that you'll get that win. So if that's of any help to anyone and that actually does work, do leave me a comment in the comment section, because I would honestly love to see a lot more of you guys getting a lot more wins. But the shoe itself, just the reason we're kind of touching on it, it's a fire shoe. Let's be completely honest. The colorway is magnificent. It looks incredible. This is definitely a shoe that I'm going for. Again, there are so many shoes on this list that I actually want. This definitely is a high contender for one of the best releases of the month for me. And just based on the pictures, which is kind of hard to tell sometimes, but the quality of materials does actually look pretty good. Just speculating, that's just my opinion, but definitely does seem like a pretty interesting shoe to get. I haven't seen too many raffles for this release as yet, so again, if I do find any, I will make sure to post it in the community tab. I may even post it on my Instagram as well, but I would definitely suggest check out the raffles guide on the Soul Suppliers website, because any available raffles will be posted on there as well. Now, moving on to the next shoe up on our list, which for me, I'm going to say it early, I'm calling it early. This is my must-cop shoe for this month. Next up, we have the Nike Irmax 1 Treeline, also scheduled to be releasing on the 7th of May for a retail price of £135. I have entered every single raffle possible for this shoe already. This shoe for me is my shoe of the month. I mean, just look at this colorway. Everything about it is incredibly fire to me. Now, probably a lot of dunk collectors who may be tuning into this video will notice that this is very similar to the skunk colorway that we've seen on the dunks previously. I'm not sure if it is taking inspiration from that or if it's just kind of one of those tongue-in-cheek things that Nike tend to do. Forgetting all the hype with the skunks, because I'm not a dunk collector, I don't really have too much, feelings towards that shoe. But just in terms of how the colorway looks on this Irmax 1, beautiful. It's just one of those shoes that I just have to get. Of everything on this list, including everything that is to come, if I don't get this one, I feel like I would be the most disappointed. Whereas if I do manage to hit this for retail, I'll be happy to pass on everything else. I will be honest with myself. I find it hard to do, but this is definitely a shoe that I do have to grab for the personal collection. There does seem to be quite a lot of raffles already available at the minute, so I'm not sure if that means there's a lot of stock or not. I'm probably not the best person to ask, and there's probably cut groups and people like that who can tell you a bit more information on it. But to make sure I'm in the best possible position to get this shoe for my own collection, I've entered every single raffle. There's quite a lot. Again, make sure to check out the raffles guide on the Soul Suppliers website. So just continuing on with the rest of this list, the next shoe that we are taking a look at is actually one for the ladies. Next up, we have the Air Jordan 1 High Varsity Red, scheduled to also be releasing on the 7th of May for a retail price of £155. The 7th of May is looking incredibly stacked right now, and it looks like there's quite a lot of releases for, you know, for anybody that's feeling something maybe a little bit different. There's plenty of different variety that are actually releasing on this day. This one for the ladies, in my opinion, is really clean, really beautiful colorway. I love everything they've done with it. They've kind of tried to give it a little bit of a twist in terms of things like, you know, swapping out the swoosh and adding a different material there. It looks like the tongues are slightly different material as well. And we've seen very similar looking colorways. So recently we had those Heritage Jordan 1s that aren't actually doing that well in terms of resale value, which I did find quite surprising. But I think this one, being the fact that it is a woman's colourway, I think the colour blocking is actually better than the Heritage colourway as well, even though the story with the Heritage is probably a better story. I think that a lot more people will probably resonate more towards this one. Given the fact that it is a women's release, I'm not sure if the stock is more limited or if the sizing is limited. I'd expect that it is, and it would cap at a certain point. But people like me, size 9 and 10, we can generally get in on it. It's not a shoe that I'm looking for the personal collection whatsoever, because I just don't really resonate to Jordan 1s. I think the colourway is clean, it's simple, it's easy to rock over the summer period, so I do expect that this shoe is probably going to be highly sought after. There's been no raffles posted at the minute, no information on sneakers, so the date may even change, so do watch this space for that. And in my opinion, this shoe is definitely going to sell out. So just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, the next one that we are taking a look at is the Yeezy 500 in the Granite colourway, scheduled to be releasing on the 14th of May for a retail price of £180. For me, the Yeezy 500 definitely feels like the ugly duckling of the Yeezy family. It definitely is a very Marmite shoe. People love it or hate it, and there's really no in between. I see a lot of people actually dissing this shoe for whatever reason. We've only ever had one shoe in terms of the 500 on this channel, and I thought it was a really decent shoe. The quality is decent, the materials are decent, and the colorways are very neutral and very tonal, so anybody can wear them pretty much any time of year, and it is probably one of the more harder wearing Yeezy models as well. So I don't really know what people's problem is with this one. As far as I'm concerned, you can't go wrong with these simple tonal colorways. In terms of the release itself, I'm not going to say it's going to sell out because I don't actually know and I don't want to overly commit. But if it is a shoe that you want, it should be releasing on the Confirmed app, and it should also be available via raffle as well. I think that this might actually be the very first shoe on this list that may even sit. So just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, and this one I'm honestly gassed for. Next up we have the Air Jordan 4 Military Black, scheduled to be releasing on the 21st of May for a retail price of £180. Now this is actually a shoe that we did also cover in a previous video where we took a look at all the Jordans that are releasing over summer. Now if you do want to check out that video, I will make sure to leave a link to it above in the description box or the info box, whatever you want to call it, and we do cover everything in there that you do need to know. But I will give you guys a little bit of my thoughts on it. I love this shoe. It's clean, simple, easy to rock, and I only do actually have one other pair of Jordan 4s in my collection at the minute, which is the Lightnings, you know, somewhere up here. And it's a really nice shoe, don't get me wrong, but it's not necessarily the easiest to wear. So I'm definitely looking for that easy, versatile option, something I can wear whenever, with whatever, and have no issues. And this is definitely one of those colorways that just fits the bill. Now, of course, this is very reminiscent of the Military Blues, in a very similar color blocking to the Military Blues themselves, being that it's the Military Black colorway. In my personal opinion, just at first glance, looking at both shoes side by side, I would actually think I'd prefer the Military Blacks. The leather on it looks incredible as well. They did touch on that on the Sneakers Live where they announced the shoe, that the quality of the materials is incredible. It's hard to say based off a video and off pictures, but based on everything I've seen so far, this shoe looks incredible to me, and it is absolutely a must cop.
Shut up and take my money!
So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, next up we have again another really exciting collaboration. This time to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the New Balance 990 series, Teddy Santis and New Balance are releasing 3 special release colorways across 3 990 silhouettes, and those shoes do include the 990 V1, 990 V2 and 990 V3, all of which are set to be releasing on the 26th of May for a range of different prices. The one that I'm going to focus on is the 990 V3, and that is set to be released for a retail price of £200. As soon as I saw it, I actually first saw it on the 7-store raffles link, and I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it was anything too significant when I first looked at it, but then when I kind of looked back at it again for a second time, this colorway is straight fire to me, and it is definitely one of the shoes on this list that I really do want to grab. I know I've pretty much said that for a lot of these shoes, and although this isn't my #1 must grab, it is definitely a shoe that I want to definitely review on the channel to celebrate 40 years of the 990 series, but as well, just because of how nice the actual colorway is. Like I've already said, I do expect the quality of the shoe is going to be incredible. We all know how New Balance do it. But the fact that, you know, this is another collaboration with Teddy Santis, and I don't know much about him and his previous collaborations, but based on what I've seen and what I've read, he seems to do a really good job. So there's definitely a lot to look forward to. I also do want to know which ones you guys are feeling the most. Are you going for the V1s, V2s, or V3s? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So when it actually does come to the release itself, I have absolutely no idea whether or not there's going to be a lot of hype for it and whether or not any of these shoes are actually going to sell out. So I'm going to just kind of gloss over that. And in terms of the release, I do expect that this will be releasing via raffle as well as on the New Balance website. And last but by no means least, we've reached number 10 for today's video and what is probably the most hype release for the entire month. Next up, we have the Travis Scott Irmax 1 Cactus Jack in the satin gold colorway. Finally set to be releasing on the 27th of May for a retail price of £145. Now this shoe was actually scheduled to be released quite a long time ago, but given the, you know, tragic events of Cactus Jack, or, you know, Travis Scott's festival and the things that transpired at his festival, the shoe was understandably pushed back by Nike. It looks like Nike is now set to finally be releasing this shoe, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about it, and I think that may be more so because I'm really into the Air Max 1 right now. Everyone I've spoke to seems to absolutely hate this shoe, but at the same time, I know there's going to be a lot of people that say they hate it and are still going to buy it, whether that's to resell it or just to, you know, review it like me, or whatever the reason is for buying it. I'm sure that a lot of people that will actually buy this shoe will change their opinion on it. So I've actually never really committed one way or the other to say I do like it or don't like it, and I'm going to completely stay neutral and sit on the fence again right now. I mean, if I was able to get this shoe, maybe I'll like it, I don't know. But I definitely feel like it is an interesting release. The colorway is very bright. Isn't necessarily a neutral, easy to rock everyday shoe, but I've seen pictures of people wearing these on feet. There's been a lot of early pairs or, you know, backdoored pairs out on the market. Whether they're real or fake, I don't know. But it definitely seems like there is actually already a lot of stock already floating around. And some of the on-feet pictures definitely don't look bad. So I'm not going to commit and say it is one of those shoes that I do or don't want. I will definitely try for the review if the shoe does release. And if I do like it, I'm going to tell you I like it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, like we did with the Jordan 2s recently. I was on the fence for the most part. And then I got them and I absolutely love them. So that might be the way for these as well. We'll have to kind of wait and see. Given the fact that this shoe has been highly anticipated for such a long time. And Travis Scott does have that clout and that weight to his name. Let's be honest, this shoe is definitely selling out. It's going to resell for a lot of money and people are going to be going for it. So if you want it, if you're a fan of Travis Scott or his sneakers, and you really want this shoe for the personal collection, it's going to be one of the hardest shoes to get. So if you do manage to get it, buy yourself a lottery ticket as well. You never know, your luck might just be in. And just like that, we finished my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of May. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on all of these releases as well, both good and bad. Let me know which of these top 10 shoes you are feeling the most, and any shoes that I've missed out, which ones do you think should have been included. Do leave me your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have stuck around to this point in the video, I just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.